Greetings to everyone, it's me Thales. This is my channel about English language. We cover various topics ranging from basic to advanced, and we have English grammar discussions and vocabulary as well. We also talk about business English, so check it out. Browse my channel throughout my 6 playlists. Yes, we have 6 playlists now. Basic playlists have explanations in Portuguese, whereas intermediate advanced ones have explanations in English only. We also have advanced business English, which in fact works as a management course, okay, in which we will cover various concepts regarding management. All right, before we begin, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to get the latest updates. I upload videos weekly, and we have more than 600 videos available for you to watch. Give the thumbs up if you enjoy the content. All right, let's get into today's topic. I guess I turned off my computer by mistake. I pressed the button there. Okay. We will talk about many things today. Let's start talking about technology, right? Technology is everything, right? Since the beginning of civilization, we rely on technology. Modern technology nowadays involves internet, involves computers, involves remote things, right? You can do things remotely. You can talk to people all around the world, no matter where you are. You can access information, lots of information which you didn't have access. For example, as I was a child, it was very uncommon to, we needed to watch the news on TV to find out what was happening, or we bought newspapers to read about the latest news. But it's not latest because it's not updated in real time, okay? So technological changes, they have shaped our organizations, right? And we also have new generational values. My generation is far different from the previous generations, and the next generations which are coming, every generation has its features, right? They have their traits. I wasn't born into the internet generation. So when I was born, there was no computers. There were no computers at all. No advanced technology, as I said. And nowadays, children, they are born with the smartphone in hands, right? They have on their hands the access to internet, to videos, streaming services. Everything is so much easier than it was when I was a child. When I wanted to play a game, I needed to buy a physical game. Nowadays, you can download games very, very straightforward, very easily. Okay, so we are talking about all this to emphasize that organizations, they have changed, okay, a lot throughout the time. And the manager's role also it has evolved, right? A manager's role in an organization, it has evolved over time. Managers, they are speaking subjects. They are measured, let's say this way, by their communication skills. they need to speak up, they have to voice their ideas, and persuasion to convince others to do things. So managers, they have to shape what they want. They have situations. Some of them are not favorable to him, and other situations they might be. They have to solve conflicts. They have to negotiate. So, summarizing, manager is a speaking subject. A manager speaks, convinces, persuades, and expresses directions where the team has to go. It also motivates people, right? Remember, we explored many different verbs related to managers. A manager coordinates, a manager motivates. Although I have to emphasize, I don't believe that someone motivates another person. It's not direct this way. A person must motivate oneself. And the role of the manager is to bring the best environment possible, right? To bring the conditions in which people may feel motivated. They also have a meaningful expression, right? Everything a manager does is meaningful because managers, they deal with strategic decisions from the company. And the role of persuasion and argumentation, right? It's their role to produce agreement where there is so much difficulty, where there are so many conflicts. It's the role of the manager is to produce agreement, to find a situation which may be favorable to both parties. Maybe it's not the best solution for that moment, but it may be the most, how can I say, it's the most reasonable situation, right? The most reasonable solution, feasible solution at that point. And people, they have to make a point where they don't agree with a situation. And a manager makes point all the time. So, words such as steering, guidance, persuasion, right? They are all related to managers. Steer means to guide, right? To put things, situations, people, resources, to make sure that they are allocated to the best situation possible. And people have to pull together in order to achieve the company's goals. It's a combination, you know. Being a manager involves power and knowledge. And you have to understand the power relationships in your company, right? There is a dispute of power in companies. Hierarchy promotes such things. And even if people aren't very aware of it, there is competition all the time. And depending on the organizational culture, some companies, they stimulate more competition. And understanding the balance of power, who has the power, who is legitimated by that power, when a person is recognized as a very influential person, the person has a reputation within the company. So when you have power plus knowledge, you bend others to executive will. You have to interpret the situation, the nature of that will, in order to find points of resistance, where there is a resistance to be minimized, and also evaluate the effects of the circumstances, contexts, and contingencies, right? There are many variables involved in managing, and the environment changes. It's ever changing, right? It changes all the time. So it's not enough for a manager just to have technical skills. It's a blend, right? Being a manager involves blending of technical skills and sophisticated social skills. Of course, this is very desirable. Some people, they tend to be more technical and others more social. I will give you my example. I'm a more technical person, but I also am able to communicate. I am able to talk, to guide people, to help people achieve their goals by giving out information, guidance, and instruction over something. But I'm not very good at breaking the ice, especially when I don't like the people or when I don't have a very close relationship with those people. Working it becomes more natural in a working environment, but for example, as a personal life, I am less social. I am the least social possible in my personal life. But when working, you have to develop social skills which will help you achieve your goals. And working alone is not advisable. The complementary nature of work requires you to interact with others, to exchange ideas, points of view, and they will help you in your everyday work. Okay, you know, every organization has a design. A design, it's a structure. It involves a structure, routine, and practices. The formal organization, which everyone knows, right? When you visit a company or when you apply for a job opportunity, people will tell you about the rules, how to behave. They will tell you many instructions, a book of instructions, let's say, the rules of that company, the culture, so you will understand a company's design. Some of its design is not related to things that you can see, but it's informal, right? It is related to informal, to relationships, and this kind of stuff you don't find very easily when you are analyzing an organizational design. A company is future oriented. What does it mean? It means that a company works looking forward to the future, right? It has every company has a mission, right? A reason to exist, and a vision. Where the company wants to position itself in the future, in the next years. So everything a company does is related to its survivability, and also to make sure that the company is sustainable in the long term, right? And in order to steer into this objective, every company has KPIs, right? Key performance indicators or targets. every process in an organization. For example, when you work as a human resource analyst, you analyze things as cost, right? Cost of hiring, turnover, absenteeism, right? Many things that you have to monitor, right? Satisfaction, a company's an employee's satisfaction with the job, right? And motivation. You have to find key performance indicators that show you where the teams are directed. And hierarchy is a way, right? It's an arrangement of powers of command and control which helps companies achieve their goals. It's necessary to organize. It's also necessary to have a division of labor, right? Yes, you have to set a group of responsibilities, right? Tasks and activities that each person or each department will do. And when you have very defined responsibilities for various departments, you can specialize, you can do better what you're expected to do. Instead of small companies, for example, they don't have these boundaries well established, and a person is a know-it-all or do-it-all, right? This person does everything in a very badly organized manner. So it's not good, it's not efficient, it's not goal-oriented. And responsibilities and roles, right? What are the roles and responsibilities? When you have a job description, right? You have a job position which you want to fill, and you see what the roles and responsibilities of that position are. Every job position has responsibilities and roles, and the higher you go in the hierarchy, the more complex, the more mental it becomes. Organizations, as I said, they are built on rules. They are dependent on rules. Rules are necessary because they tell you, they tell people how things have been done, right, in the past, and they recommend, they show you how they should be done in the future. Rules in the companies, in organizations, they change, right, from time to time, because a company must adapt to the environment, right? The market changes, the government, the economy, everything. There are many variables which affect an organization, such as clients, employees, the market, right? The job market, the economy, society. So many things happen, and they may change the way you see the rules. You can find ways to bring more efficiency, and you have to change the rules. You have to discuss, to do over, right? To discuss how things are done. People, they are always finding a better way to do things, right? How you work better, how you optimize your time, right? In order to make more productive. Productivity is everything, right? And productivity discussions, they affect the way the way rules are built and the way rules are revised. Actions in a company, as I mentioned before, they are guided by formal instructions, right? When you join the company, when you have the hierarchy discussions. We talked here the organizational design. Most of what we see is formal, right? You see, it's physical even. Layout, an organizational layout, the organigram, right? What else? The hierarchy, how the company, the company's jobs and functions, they are spread over the company. So you need to understand how the company works. It's formal. But we also have informal rules. Things that everyone knows about the company, but it's not written anywhere. We will talk in the future about the effects of the informal rules or the effects of the not tangible things, right? Non-tangible ideas, constructs. It's very abstract, right? It's not written. It's an idea. It's a collective idea. I think, in a way, right? I have my opinions. I have my points of view, but I have to surrender. I have to bend myself to the rules of a company. So, in organizational culture, it's great, it's bigger, it's larger than anything, right? It's larger than each person's culture. Each person's identity is important, but we have a collective culture that forms this design, this identity, this collective identity. Rules. They have legitimate or authoritative sanctions, authoritative sanctions attached to them. Because rules, they tell you how things are done, okay, how things are done, what is expected from you, but also there is a strict relationship with punishment. What is expected from you, how you should behave, but if you don't do this way, or if you disobey the rules of the company, you may suffer some kind of punishment. Every company has a relationship between rewards and punishment. And you have to motivate people, you give them rewards, but you also punish people who make serious mistakes. Of course, companies, they tend to stimulate people. Okay, you can experiment, you can try, it's a trial and error thing in order to bring creativity out of people. Okay, we will stimulate, we have a culture which stimulates creativity, but also, okay, you can make mistakes. This is one thing. It's related to the culture. But when you do something that is unacceptable, or something, you make a mistake on purpose, right? You do something to do harm to a person, to a company, and you cause the company to have liabilities. It's bad for the company. So depending on what you do, you may suffer several types of punishment. You may be suspended, you may receive a warning, right? A written warning. You may also be dismissed from the company depending on the seriousness of what you do. All right, people, we talked a lot about companies, about culture, about the roles of the manager, And in the next videos, we will explore more about these ideas. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a nice time. Bye bye.